another installment of the Vuyo show, coming to you live, of course, from New York City. It is I, your favorite global darling, here to serve you another installment of some good New York City vibes. We are right here at the South African Embassy in New York City, of course, to bring you a night of beautiful and interesting art from South African women as we're celebrating International Women's Month. They're going to be showcasing the beauty of their art. And of course, we're going to be seeing all of that and so much more on this installment. So stay tuned. Let's go. And right next to me, I would say the queen of this castle, if I may put it that way. Okao, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Vuyo. Lovely to be here. Lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. Really appreciate it.
I always love coming to this space. It brings me back home. It reminds me of being a South African in New York City. Sometimes you can kind of, feel a bit detached, but then you come back home and you see the country and you see everyone around and you say, Okao, from time to time it feels great. But what brought us all here together this evening?
Of course, it's the Give Her a Crown campaign, which has been pioneered by Jaguar. And when I met Irene last year and we started speaking about it, I was blown away by just this entire initiative and how it supports women, it empowers women, and it creates platforms for women to showcase their talent. And we thought, why not bring it to New York, right? And share with the New York audience, the New York industry, the talent that comes from South Africa, the opportunities that they could be tapping into when they're looking for artwork, talent, material, whatever it is that may be. South Africa is the place that they can go to. So yeah, this is what brings us here today. And of course, it's on the eve of International Women's Month. During Women's History Month, and it all just worked out together very well.
What a perfect way of just summing it all up for us. When it comes to International Women's Month and South Africa's positioning within that, we heard one of the speakers in the video saying, we are advocates for women power as a country. For you as Ukhaofi, as a woman in this country, what does International Women's Month mean to you?
I think more than anything, recognition. Recognizing that women are fully capable of being more than what we have been defined as. Recognizing that if you give women the opportunity and the space to grow and shine, they can be the change agents that they need to be in the societies that we see that are continuously being torn apart by a number of issues. I think recognition that women have been for many years sort of put aside and set aside, not given platforms to show up, to rise to the occasion. Recognition that women are also important at all seats, at all tables, if we are to make any significant change in the world. So really, this is what it means to me. And I think if we have more men recognizing the value that women bring to the table, we can actually make a difference.
I love that. There's so much that we get to offer.
Yeah.
And we got to see an offering of art and beauty today. I absolutely love it. The Consulate told us that there's going to be something on the 25th of April that we are looking forward to coming back for, celebrate 30 years of South African democracy. So thank you so much for inviting us, and we are looking forward to a lot more.
Thank you so much for coming through. We look forward to having you.
Yes, we're still watching the Vuyo show, and we're celebrating giving her crown. And right next to me, I have the woman whose crown I'm seeing right in front of me, Irene, who is, of course, the PR, marketing, and communications at Jaguar. Did I say Jaguar correctly? Because I think there should be a way to say it.
That's correct. We'll accept that.
Irene, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, this night just brought so much joy into my heart, not only because of seeing the beautiful art, but the message behind this campaign.
Yes.
Give her a crown. Share with us what really brought this entire concept together.
So Give Her a Crown is an initiative by the Change Collective. It's an organization based in South Africa, and they saw the need. They saw the need not just in South Africa, but in Africa and the world, for women's voices to be amplified. The whole idea about the crown, it's a virtual crown. It represents what women do in their societies, what they do in their families and their communities. And so this initiative was started so we could recognize, particularly within the arts, some of the work that women do. And as Jaguar, we found this as an opportunity for us to amplify the voice of South African women, tell their stories, create a platform and add our voice to theirs, so that initiatives like this can actually spread to New York, to other countries, so people can know the names of these artists and what they stand for. And we've seen it work, and that's essentially what Give Her a Crown's about.
This is not the first year of this initiative happening. Over the years, what would you say you were looking for throughout the years from all the artists that you had part of the campaign? Because we've seen 6 incredible women today, but share with us the journey within the time that you've had this particular campaign and how the evolution of it from the artists who've been part of it.
So we started in 2020 with 16 phenomenal artists. We then had COVID, and we started with digital crowns as well. And then this is our third rendition of Give Her a Crown, and it's a beautiful artwork where we see it this year. And the whole idea was to find well-known, up-and-coming artists, designers, creators, and give them a space, a platform for them to do what they do, to tell their stories, and we add our voice to that. And we've seen the impact it has had. We have, with the proceeds from Give Her a Crown, sent girls to university, sent them to further their education with a Jaguar Crown bursary. We also have had this art packs within the school system to educate the boy child and the girl child about women empowerment and equality. So it's not just pretty artworks, it's also what comes after that. And for us, the whole program from start to end is really and truly amplified, and the essence is one that I believe different brands should actually participate in.
You're really changing lives, Irene.
Yes, we are.
Right? From not only the artists we've seen here, we saw the film that you showed us earlier on, that there's so much that goes into the lives that have been changed, from young to old, who are part of this particular campaign. Jaguar, as you had said on stage, creativity, passion is what you celebrate in art. Show us your mission as a brand and how you are driving literally and figuratively around the world that mission.
So we believe Jaguar is fearless.
Yes.
It's a brand that you cannot ignore. We make amazing, beautiful cars. Jaguar is also reimagining its future, and we see women whose stories need to be told. We see a bit of ourselves in what they do as well, where it needs to be amplified, it needs to be heard, and that's actually what we see within this, the arts and the power of storytelling. I mean, if we look at the heritage of Jaguar and where it's going in the future, we can see that in the women as well. It's something that should not be ignored. This is a brand that cannot be ignored, and neither should the work that the women do.
Yeah. Jaguar should not be ignored, you should not be ignored, and of course, you at home watching should of course go about, share your creativity the Jaguar way, if I may say it that way. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to have a sit down with you in the future as well, get to know more about your story as a woman as we're celebrating International Women's Month. This is the Vuyo Show. See you in a bit. To me, I have the man of the moment.
No, no.
The reason why we are here today, of course, the Consulate General of South Africa. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for allowing me to say a few words. Thank you indeed.
So as we were kind of hearing from the speeches on today's ceremony, that this event would have not happened without the support of this office. Please share with us your involvement into the Give Her a Crown campaign.
No, actually, as a South African consulate and part of our work, is the arts and culture, promoting South Africa's arts and culture. Besides the political work, besides the economic work, arts and culture and tourism are important sectors for us. So this is one of our important image and branding, and we in Jaguar, in partnership with Jaguar, thought this will be a good idea. And so that's why we did this brand promoting, and it comes at the right time, Women's Month, Women's History Month, and celebrating Human Rights Month in South Africa.
And as you were sharing on the stage, that this month is very significant. We are at the entry of the 30th anniversary of South African democracy. We are celebrating International Women's Month. We are celebrating, the arts. So many celebrations are happening, right?
Indeed.
And what a beautiful occasion to bring us all here today. When it comes to South Africa, what is the role of South Africa in the global entertainment, global art, global, media industry? Would you say it plays a
Now,
role?
before I get to that, you spoke about the 30th anniversary. We got a lineup of certain things, especially the 27th of April, where we will be celebrating South Africa's National Day, and that is in the Freedom Day. We will be celebrating on the 25th. With the embassy in Washington, with our consulate in Los Angeles, we have a whole lot of programs happening, especially around the 30th anniversary. We have the light up of the State Empire building in mind. We have the mayor of New York in terms of raising the South African flag. We got other events. We got the shared interest. There's a number of events planned. We're planning a program in having a South Africa week or South Africa day with a wine promotion, food promotion, and a fashion show. So those are all in line with that. Coming to you where South Africa is involved, what was the
So really, in the entertainment, in the media, in the arts sector, South Africa has showcased so much beauty in that industry around the world, right? South Africa is kind of, in the African continent, that country that stands out for beautiful art. As someone who represents South Africa in this particular country, what does that even look like and feel like for you?
No, indeed. You just had one special moment when we had this promotion going tonight. You could see the special things that are coming out of South Africa. Women's Month, not all these initiatives, these art creations, those are all the strength of South Africa. Yeah. So we're here as part of our program of action to promote that.
I love that. We're promoting all things South Africa.
Yeah, indeed.
27th of April, we'll be back.
No, it will be on the 25th of April.
25th of April, we are back again, of course, to celebrate 30 years of South African democracy.
Exactly.
We'll be here at the
No, 25th
show.
we'll be having a whole week's program.
Yes.
We're anticipating some big stars to be out here. Hopefully something like black coffee or things like that.
You've given us some secrets over here. I love it. I love a good session. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the 25th of April and throughout the entire week of South African Week. We've just seen her speak on stage. We've just experienced her art, and right now we're having a conversation with her, the one and only Laura, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining me.
I'm happy to be here and be chatting to you here.
We experienced you speaking on stage, talking about just the feeling of showcasing in New York City. What does this experience mean to you?
It's very special because New York is always described as being the hub of creativity and where everything's happening, and the whole creative world revolves around New York City. So to be exhibiting in New York City is huge for me. As I said in my speech, I had to see it to believe it. I had to be here and see my piece exhibited here to believe that it actually happened. It seems so far out, but it's just amazing. I'm so happy to be here.
I can see the gleam in your face. You're just so excited. Give her a crown. It embodies such heaviness to it, that terminology. What does it mean to you?
So Give Her a Crown is about highlighting what creative women are doing and how their work is inspiring others and empowering themselves and others, and seeing how far creativity can go beyond just something that looks nice. It can be so much more meaningful and have so much more value and touch people in very meaningful ways. Beyond just inspiration, it can be educational, it can help to raise funds, it can really go so much further. And I think that's what Give Her a Crown is. It's about thinking beyond yourself and seeing how you can help others. But in a way that you find meaningful, where you feel like it's authentic to yourself. And I think that's when it really takes off and where it really, you can see the impact of your work and how it can carry through.
I love that, and I'm hoping we're going to be able to get you on the Vuyo show for a nicely extended interview to learn more about your inspiration behind the art. But today, what inspired your collection of what you brought onto this particular exhibition? It's a beautiful piece, but I'd love to know a little bit more about it.
So my piece was inspired by the African daisy and how during times of drought, the African daisy curls up its petals to form funnel shapes so that it can absorb more water. And I feel like that mimics how women are, how resilient women are, and how the flower can change and how women change and can become resilient and take on any challenge. And that's why it's called the beauty of resilience, where they become something more beautiful, more interesting, and capable of doing things that they didn't even think they could do. And I think that realization is something very special and something that inspired me.
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Even your dress is so lovely tonight. One word to describe International Women's Month for you, what would that one word be?
Empowered.
I love that. We are feeling empowered by seeing your art, and we are feeling empowered having you here in New York City. Thanks so much for joining me. And she had promised us to be back on the Vuyo show again, so we'll keep your word. Celebrating International Women's Month, International Women's Day, but also Give Her a Crown campaign. And right next to me, I have a beautiful queen who I would definitely say deserves a crown. Thank you so much for joining me, Kishan. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I feel like being here in this room with all these powerful women from different industries have been amazing. I was just like being in the room with empowering women who you can network with and create bigger things from such a very intimate event with heavy hitters in here. I'm so inspired leaving here. I have so many new friends and I'm so excited.
I love your energy. It's everything. I was just like pour all of that into you.
Yeah.
But share with us about what you felt and thought about this particular campaign, Give Her a Crown.
Yes.
It carries so much weight to it, right? Give her a crown. What does it mean to you, those words and even this particular event?
Give us a crown. I feel like the weight that it holds, there's so many women that are overseen in so many industries, but they're the ones that are carrying the weight, right? They're the ones carrying the weight in their industry, and it's finally time for them to be crowned, and what a better time than Women's Month. And I feel like this is what this campaign means to me, watching at the different beautiful art structures here, the dresses, I want to be on a gala just to wear one of the dresses. So I feel like just the whole name of it, the people in the room, unreal.
So they said earlier on that there's, women in the space are from all different sectors and industries. What industry is your crown shining in?
So I am in entertainment and news. I am a publicist. So what the crown I wear is giving other women a crown while holding my own in my industry. I'm behind the scenes, but empowering women in front of the camera and to make their dreams come through. So I put the pieces together so then you guys can shine on TV.
I love it, so we can shine.
Yes.
International Women's Month is currently, we're in it.
Yeah.
One word to describe what that means to you.
Fruitful.
Fruitful. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you
and
for having me.
We'll have you come and sit down with us and share your story.
Yes.
Because that's what we do right here on the Vuyo show. We share powerful and inspiring stories like yours and the women who are watching. Right next to me, we're not only matching in color scheme, we're also matching from where we come from. We're matching in all different ways, but also creativity. Augustine is joining us all the way from the Brooklyn Museum. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here as a South African, as an African, and a creative. This is really an important initiative to find ways to celebrate and support artists, female artists from the African continent. And again, as this is the month of celebrating women, how do we elevate who we are, what we've done, and how we want to move through life? And so this particular initiative by Jaguar is absolutely amazing and important for not just South Africa, but for the continent.
Give Her a Crown carries so much weight, but also powerful weight, if I may put it that way.
Yes.
For you, when you saw that terminology, when you saw those words, what did it signify to you, Give Her a Crown?
I think, the sentiment of giving oneself a crown and then giving others a crown is really important. Looking and listening and understanding and appreciating your journey as a woman, but then also having the opportunity to take along another woman with you on that journey, someone who you see has potential, and really trying to support and grow that person as you also grow in your career or in your life. So giving oneself a crown is really about finding ways to create a network of women and a network of support.
And you're doing that exactly at the Brooklyn Museum.
It's absolutely important.
Yeah.
It's absolutely important. As a curator of African art at the Brooklyn Museum, it's one of my biggest joys is to find ways to elevate and celebrate African creativity. Whether it's artists, or female or male, but across the continent, looking at how can we get others to understand the extent of our talents. So as an African, I'm absolutely honored to have the opportunity to showcase what I know is possible to the rest of the world.
Yeah, South Africa rise, it's time,
Yes,
it's our time.
it truly is the time, and it has always been our time. I think it's really about how do we at this given moment take the mantle to actually shine the light on what we have always been doing, the good. There's always a tendency in the media to showcase the negative, but there are many opportunities for joy. And so through art, through creativity, you create one of those opportunities.
Wow, I can't wait for us to come to the Brooklyn Museum to see all this beauty and this art.
Please do come. 2025, the end of 2025, 6,000 square feet. I will have an opportunity along with my co-curator, Anissa Malvoisin, to celebrate African creativity from as far back in time to as contemporary in time. And really giving not just Africans, but the global community a window into the vastness of our potential and our creativity.
I love that.
So please come
I love that.
through. Please
We'll
come through.
definitely be there, of course, as the Vuyo Show team. We celebrate you for being a woman in this time. It is International Women's Month, so happy International Women's Month
Thank
to
you, and we celebrate you for amplifying other women and other voices.
Thank you. Right next to me, I've got Dome T. I hope I said that correctly
You
this time
did.
around.
Beautiful.
We're still here at the South African Embassy, of course, to celebrate International Women's Month in a beautiful way through art. How are you doing? And thank you so much for joining us.
I'm well. Great to meet you, and it's great to be here at the embassy.
Yeah, what brought you here today? I mean, we're seeing a whole lot of art and we're seeing some fashion as well.
That's right.
But what brought you particularly to this event?
Well, a good friend of mine by the name of Boosie is a friend to the embassy, and she invited me. I hosted a show on the Smithsonian Channel called The Exhibit. So I've always been a fan of art, a collector of art, and a fan of anything that elevates women in equity. And this hits all the markers, so I'm happy to be here.
I love that. I love that. So let us know about what you saw here today. What are your thoughts on some of the art that you were able to experience today? What feeling, mood, and emotion did you kind of get out of it?
Oh, sure. I got to start with Dr. Peter. I don't want to mispronounce his last name, but he's a photojournalist that has chronicled the freedom struggle, the Soweto uprisings, photos of Winnie Mandela. Around the corner, there's a gallery of Madiba and just so much history, so I'm learning. That has been beautiful. But I've seen these dresses by Shelley that are beautiful, wearable art. I'm seeing sculptures. It's a lot here, man. It's beautiful. I'm still taking it all in.
Yeah, the way you're speaking, you can truly tell that you love art.
Yeah.
Because you're explaining everything as it is. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Vuyo Show, ladies and gents, of course. The one and only Dome T. And right next to me, ladies and gents, she is a woman of many exploits. The one and only Busi. I had to sing along with that because that's just the energy and the vibe that you're bringing.
Vuyo, I love you so much. You're so special.
Oh man, I love that. Busi, we are here to celebrate International Women's Month. As a woman in the city, in this country, in this world, what does International Women's Month mean to you?
Wow, that's loaded. I stand on the shoulders of amazing women who've come before me, whether family members or women in general who have uplifted me. And I'll say, these don't have to even be college-educated women, but women of purpose, women of dignity, women who inspire and aspire, even if it's a woman who's a stay-at-home mom, but add impact and value. I'll just say this: my grandmother, my dad's mother, she had 8 children. She was a stay-at-home mom, but she educated all her kids through college. And for me, that's a woman who still works. She's not invisible. She should be recognized for what she has done. One of my aunts was one of the conveners of the Beijing Conference for Women, and before that, the Copenhagen Women's Conference. My great aunt, my grandmother's sister, was one of the first 5 Ugandan women to go to college. And then my maternal grandmother was one of the Rivonia women. And my mom is a veteran, South African veteran. She fought in the struggle. So I am a woman who's seen women before me, trailblazers, and women with audacity, but also women who are humble and willing to still be feminine as they continue to grow and prosper in whatever industry they are in. I remember my late father said, what matters, it doesn't matter what job you do, but whatever you do, make sure you excel at it. And he also used to say, it doesn't have to be a man to carry the family legacy or name. Even as a woman, you can do that. And my great-grandfather, also was a chief, but he had 3 daughters and did not go out to get other kids because he believed in his children as well. My grandfather was the same way. So for me, women with allies who support them, amazing. And for me, International Women's Day is just a token of appreciation of that, those in the trenches.
And you come from a very, very strong line of powerful women, and I love that, right? And we're here at the
And they're also wives. They can be wives.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you cannot be a wife because you're a strong woman.
You can definitely wear the crown.
You can wear
in
the
every
crown.
aspect as a woman.
Absolutely.
As you are.
You can also be submissive. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people are scared of the word submission, but there's nothing wrong with the word submission.
Yes,
You can be feminine. You don't have to be manly.
To embody that power and that crown.
Absolute soft power.
Soft power, and that's the beauty and what we are celebrating here with the art we're seeing today. We'll see one word to describe your experience at the Give Her a Crown campaign. Inspiring. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for joining us, Wusi. Of course, ladies and gents, the one and only, the beautiful Wusi.